Maybe it's make it a little shorter. Here we go. Welcome. You're listening to the Best of Investing on Talk 910, the show where we present valuable information about real estate, the financial markets, and other economic business of the day. I'm your host, Edward Brown, and I'm proud to have as my co-host Mark Hunt of Pacific Private Money, California's fastest-growing mortgage investment firm. Our phone number is 888-912-1190. Write that number down, 888-912-1190, because you're going to use that number to answer the trivia questions for 3 vacations given away during each commercial break. That's right, we're giving away 9 vacations during this show. Now, the vacations are not sponsored by the radio station, but by Lighthouse Resort and Marina, which is located 1 hour northeast of San Francisco. The vacations are free. Their only request, a $75 cleaning fee to cover housekeeping expenses. Their website is lighthouse4fun.com. You can reach them at 916-777-5511. Check them out. They always have some specials going on. And today's trivia theme is numbers in songs. Okay? Today's special guest is Randy Petersen, who's going to share with us his pearls of wisdom regarding frequent flyer miles. Randy, welcome to the Best of Investing.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Just got off the plane. Didn't make the upgrade list, so I'm not feeling that special today. So let's make sure we get it so that all of your listeners can make the upgrade list, and they will feel special.
Yeah, in fact, you know what I was thinking? It would be kind of neat if you could actually like hire someone. You know, a lot of times you like the travel agents, you know, they don't really want to help you with frequent flyers because they don't make any money, right?
Yeah, they don't. But you know, one of the buzz things, the latest, greatest industry out there is people helping you redeem your awards. You probably read about Johnny can't ever use his miles and stuff like that. One of the hottest but regular rural industries out there is now little firms sprouting up, college kids doing it, groups getting together, and they form little groups that all they do is like a travel agent that only helps you redeem your miles. So if you don't have time, you're worried about getting best value for your miles, or you can never find the ticket you're looking for, you're just ready to throw the phone away, you hire one of these guys. You can do it for sometimes $30 up to $200, especially if you're trying to find, let's say, 2 first-class tickets to Hong Kong during the Chinese New Year. There's people out there that are really, really good about finding the free seats. So we're going to talk about earning the miles. You can call them later about redeeming the miles. How's that?
That's excellent. Okay, so here's the first question, because you and I were kind of bantering back and forth about the kind of questions we want to ask you. Which credit card do you think has the best frequent flyer type account?
We got a couple days to go through all the
That's okay. We only have 6 hours on the show.
It kind of depends on what you're looking for. You're looking just for cash because honestly, cash back works for a lot of people. There's nothing wrong with cash back. If you're kind of an investor guy, let's say you do manage your mutual funds, one stock from another, then you pay attention in personal finance, then maybe you want to move up and get a deal out there in a credit card where you can leverage the redemption and get, instead of a 1% cash back like a typical credit card cash back offer, you can actually get 6 to 10% back based upon knowing how to redeem your miles for different things. So depends on if you're a travel guy or not. If you're a money guy, go with the cash back card. If you really like that idea of first class and going places and, hey, having that fancy card in your wallet that says you're a platinum member, then maybe frequent flyer cards are the better way to go. And it kind of depends on your timing, honestly. For instance, 3 days ago, if we would have had this radio show 3 days ago, I would have been talking about a British Airways credit card with a 100,000-mile sign-up bonus. That's it. You sign up, spend about $2,000 in your first 3 months with that card, and they give you a 100,000-mile bonus. That's like 4 domestic free tickets here in the U.S. That's a free business class ticket to Europe, and all it was choosing the right card. However, that was 3 days ago. Today, they pulled that offer off. So kind of depends upon timing on everything, but that's a good one to look at. Capital One is really, really aggressive. I always recommend looking at Capital One. They come up with great offers. I tell you, one of the hottest cards out there right now is from American Airlines. Yes, they've come out of bankruptcy, and now they're ready to give credit to a lot of people. Get it? Credit?
Yeah.
But they've got a card out in 3 months. You have to decide if you can afford that. Don't spend above your head. If you've got rent or clothes or college tuition or just like the
No, but I put everything. I put everything I can on the credit card. In fact, the one that I use, because I've yet to find one that has worked as well. I mean, I like personally, I like Travelocity.
Travelocity. I was going to say that's actually a pretty good one. You're talking about the American Express card, right?
Yeah, they used to be MasterCard, but
Yeah.
they changed it to American Express, which upset me because not as many companies take.
Not as many merchants accept it, but it's issued by Barclays Bank. So
Yeah.
Barclays is actually like that bank because see, right now they issue the U.S. Airways credit card for U.S. Airways. However, when U.S. Airways and American merge together, Citibank's going to have that credit card contract. So Barclays is going to be out a couple million members, their cardholders, so they're going to look to go out and try to find new people. So watch Barclays for some very interesting offers out there to get you to put their plastic in your wallet.
Hey Randy, Mark Honfier. I wanted to throw out a question here. So, are there any special deals, special cards? Like it used to be you can get double miles on certain cards. Anything like that anymore?
Yeah, there really are, but typically they're by category. Okay, and what you need to decide is what's your sweet spot for category. For instance, many of them have double miles for grocery store. You've got a large family or you just like to eat a lot, you can really do well there. Let's say your monthly bill at Safeway, if you will, is, I don't know, let's say $500 a month. Let's just say $500 a month on that. A lot of these credit cards, not all of them, but you need to pick the right ones up. You can earn double or triple miles for purchases at a supermarket. So let's say at $500 a month for groceries, you got a family of 4 or 5, and that's pretty reasonable. So at triple miles, that will give you 1,500 miles a month. And all you've done is go to your same grocery store and just use the plastic. You're not paying more for groceries. Over a year, that's going to get you, guess what, 18,000 miles. Well, a free ticket is only 25,000 miles. So sometime in about 15 months, with no extra spending, just the right credit card, you're going to have a free ticket, and you didn't do anything different than what you were already doing. So categories are really, really cool. It used to be that the big thing was gasoline stations. But you know what? I'm not so sure that it's a good idea to say, hey, I get double or triple miles when gas keeps flying in. Do I want gas really to be at $4 a
no.
I can earn more miles? No, I really don't.
No, but I tell you, it's interesting though. Like on the Travelocity one, I noticed when you hit 20,000 points, then it's worth 2 cents a mile. Whereas if you have, let's say, 15,000 points, you don't get $300 worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I tell you what, let me ask you one more question before we go to break. What can people like me who don't travel enough get premier status? Because it seems like many, if not airlines, limit the availability of the usage of miles.
Yeah. Again, choosing the right card. A little bit of research. It's not like personal finance, but there are programs. For instance, Delta is one. If you use a Delta American Express card, your credit card purchases actually help earn you silver medallion status with that airline. So you can spend your way to being a fancy frequent flyer and having a special card in your wallet, which gets you free luggage. The next time you fly, first bag is free. Sometimes second bag is free. Also, go to the head of the line, get on the plane first, and grab that overhead space. So there are advantages to being one of these elite members, and you can spend your way there. But all programs are different. Delta's one I recommend. Continental has a card occasionally. It works for you, but don't expect that from everyone. Do your research.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. Just really quickly before we go to break, I got a quick funny story. There was a friend of mine he's one of these guys who would fly to London for a 1-hour meeting and fly home. I mean, that's how premier status he was. One time he's going through the airport and he's one of these guys where he gets first class like even before the pilot,
Yep.
And they actually so he's supposed to get his first class ticket and he hears in line some guy screaming, "What do you mean I'm kicked out of first class? I paid $3,000 for my first class ticket." And they said, "Sorry, we have someone basically who's more important than you." Okay, we're gonna cut.
Sometimes we laugh and say, you know what? You're not so important anymore, are you?
Yeah, really. Okay, we're gonna cut to our first commercial break, and again, the theme is numbers in songs. All right, in the song "Ride, Captain, Ride" by Blues Image, how many men sailed the San Francisco Bay? And when we come back, we're going to get into more of frequent flyer miles with Randy Petersen. Call 888-912-1190. That's 888-912-1190 to answer this question. In the song "Ride, Captain, Ride" by Blues Image, how many men sailed the San Francisco Bay? And the first three callers with the correct answer are going to win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Don't touch that dial. The best of investing. I'll be right back. Okay. Gosh, darn it, I don't know why. You know, this microphone's better, and I think you were okay, but I kept hearing crackling.
I was too, and was it getting on the? Is the recording fine, or is it just?
Yeah, it seems like the recording is fine.
Okay, because I kept losing one of my, one
yeah,
side.
me too. But I'm going to save this, and then we'll listen to it for just a quick second, just to make sure.
I got a trivia music thing for you guys with numbers in it too.
Okay, go ahead.
What is the number of tears that you have to cry from a song from Question Mark and the Mysterians?
I remember Question Mark and the Mysterians.
How many tears?
Oh, 96 Tears. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
96
Hey,
Tears.
you should do this more often. We're having just a hell of a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, I know. We always have fun with our guests here. Okay, this Saturday is the 15th, right? Yeah. Okay. So we've got that there. Randy, you're a great guest. Very exciting.
Keep that off the air.
Okay. Okay, let me just save this. Let's save it. 2 different files here.
Okay.
All right. Question Mark and the Mysterians. I remember that. Okay. So let me just. Welcome. You're listening to the best of investing on Talk 910, the show where we present valuable information about real estate, the financial.
Just got off the plane. Didn't make
There's
the
you.
upgrade list, so I'm not feeling that special today. But let's make sure we get it so that all of your listeners can make the upgrade list. And they.
Okay, so here's the first question, because you and I were.
Okay, it sounds like it's okay.
About the kind of questions we want to ask you.
But they've got a card out there right now, also with $100.
Okay, well, I'm just going to assume that everything's fine. Okay, so let's go to segment number 2, yeah? All right. And then when we come back, let's see. So, Mark, you'll ask question number 4? That's where we left off.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and away we go. Welcome back to The Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hoff, president of Pacific Private Money. When we cut to the first commercial break, we asked this trivia question. Again, the theme is numbers in songs. In the song Ride, Captain, Ride by Blues Image, how many men sailed the San Francisco Bay? Anybody?
Don't know.
Randy, you know that one?
I don't.
73. Remember? 73 men sailed?
So I had 3 people jump overboard on me, or else I would have got that right.
In fact, the way that they got that was the number of keys on a Rhodes piano. Not a regular one, because that would have been 88. We are in the studio here on the phone with Randy Petersen, who is an expert in frequent flyer miles, and Mark's got the next question for you.
So, Randy, when you're looking to book using frequent flyer miles, do you have to book further in advance if you're using flyer miles versus cash?
Well, there's a sweet spot. Some people think you need to book 362 days in advance when seats first go on sale. Not so, because airlines typically do not load all of their frequent flyer inventory along with their revenue seats. So that's out. You book too soon and everything's gone, but the sweet spot is about 6 months out. And there's a caveat on that. Believe it or not, about 27% of all the awards that are booked by members of frequent flyer programs are canceled and changed. So whenever you get a no, the idea is you hang up and you call back the next day or 2 days later or whatever, because other people who maybe already got that free seat you want, maybe their plans are going to change and that seat will come back on
What about when you do it online? A lot of times, you check online and it always seems like it's blacked out.
It's always blacked out. There's a couple things you can do. One is that there's actually some services out there. One's called expertflier.com, and you can look up a seat, and what it does is it uses a database, and it queries every day for that seat, and it will send you an email when that seat becomes available. So that's the market lounge or the lazy guy's way to doing it. And, it costs a little bit of money, but it's worthwhile for it. One top secret for redeeming your miles. Most people want to redeem their miles for summer vacation. The interesting thing is January is the busiest month of the year for all frequent flyer programs because vacations are over, holidays are over. Now people start thinking about summer vacation. You can beat that. The best time to ever book an award is right at the Christmas holidays because everybody else is shopping for Aunt Millie and sitting on Santa's lap, but you should be on the phone trying to get your free awards because, as I told you, if you wait till January, you're going to be competing against everybody else.
So wait a minute. When you want to, you call around Christmas time to fly when though?
Anywhere from that sweet period, which is late May into the end of August. Okay.
Awesome. Hey, Randy, if you're sitting on a bunch of miles that are about to expire and you can't, travel with them, what else can you typically do with those miles that are worthwhile?
Well, the secret of that is either give them to me or give them to you, Edward. That's
there you go.
Now, short of that, let me give you some more things. One of the interesting things is any type of activity keeps your miles active. So if you haven't done anything for the last year and your miles are going to expire, you just go up to like Apple and buy a song for your iTunes for your phone for 99 cents. And that activity, just go through the frequent flyer merchandise mall, and each of them have that. Spend the 99 cents, that counts as activity into your account. You'll actually earn 1 mile, but guess what? You'll reset the expiration clock for another 18 months or 12 months.
I like that.
On your frequent flyer program. So that's the tip of the day. $1 well spent will keep your miles.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
wow, I had no idea that was the case.
Yeah, because a lot of times you get with these magazines and stuff, they send, hey, you're going to get expired really soon, use the magazine. But I was going to ask you that when does it pay to use miles and upgrade versus just using all your miles for a specific ticket? Because sometimes you can do that.
That's a really good question because it's complicated. In fact, it's going to take a month to explain this. But anyway, not having that much time for your listeners. The idea is typically you only want to use your miles for upgrades on international tickets. Domestic tickets, it's really not worth it because honestly, today airlines are pretty smart. Oftentimes when you check it in the kiosk, they may say, hey, want to upgrade to first class on that little kiosk for $30 or $70. Well, for my book, I'd rather spend $30 or $70 extra to upgrade to first class than to spend the extra 20,000 miles that it would take to upgrade to first class using your miles.
Especially if you're going from San Francisco to LA.
Yeah, from San Francisco to LA. Now, internationally, that's really where the value is. I talked earlier about a penny per mile or maybe 1% rebate from a cashback card. If you're really good at managing your miles, and sometimes, honestly, you just want to say no, especially when you're redeeming your awards. I've seen people redeem an award. You mentioned San Francisco. I've seen people redeem 25,000 miles for a ticket they could have bought on the shuttle for $39.
Oh, that's
now,
ridiculous.
Telling me something else, but I'm saving my miles for when the ticket's going to cost $800.
Absolutely.
Not $39.
Now, what about aren't there some websites where you can actually sell your miles? And I don't know, how do the airlines feel about that?
Tell you what, you're going to go to prison. Every frequent flyer program has the mileage police. They hang out on, guess what? Craigslist. They hang out on eBay looking for people to sell miles. So I always tell people, miles have a real value when you use them. And there's nobody I know that has too many miles, including George Clooney. So what you want to do is forget about that. It's not worth the risk, if you will. And besides, you want to sell your miles where somebody's going to give you like 13 cents on the dollar of what they're worth. Now, save them, use them, give them. send the in-laws away for the holidays,
Yeah.
or hey, you've got a favorite niece, send her to Europe for graduating from college, but don't let them go away. If nothing else, donate it to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
So, Randy, is there any way? What's one of the best ways to keep up on all the specials and changes going on in the frequent flyer industry?
Well, in the old days, depending on how old you were, I would say, well, ask the Three Stooges. Today, it's your three new friends. One's named Google, the other's named Facebook, and the third is named Twitter. Social media is actually where you find out stuff. And looking up best credit card rewards, how to redeem a seat, you're going to come across websites like forums, bulletin boards like milepoint.com, where frequent flyers get together and trade their best experiences, advice on helping each other. But the key out there these days are bloggers. Bloggers are the smart guys because you don't have to wade through 800 pages of, well, you're wrong, and here's my experience. Bloggers really do research. So just type up best credit card deals, blogger, and you'll find, and there's hundreds of blogs out there where people will give you advice, articles every day on here's the best credit card deals, here's the best way to get value out of your first class redemption, here's how to keep your miles from expiring. So social media is your friend. Remember, Google, Facebook, and Twitter, there's a new Three Stooges.
And let me ask you, that's funny. Have you found any, hey, you insinuating? No, just dancing. Have you found any deals where it's been good to actually like purchase merchandise? Because sometimes I look at this stuff and it takes like 1 million miles to purchase a Pez dispenser,
Well, that's a good question. And for those, there's a lot of jadedness in frequent flyers. There's a lot of uppity-nosed people that have really learned out and they got millions of miles. And of course, they would always say, I would never redeem, just to your point, my miles for merchandise that I could buy cheaper from Amazon. However, let's understand that the value of a mile is in the beholder. It's frankly like art. And, not everybody has 1 million miles, and frankly, not everybody's got $20,000 or $200,000 in their savings account or their checking account. So, honestly, it just depends on how it feels to you. If looking at merchandise and maybe you don't have a lot of money, you're in between jobs, somebody's economy last couple of years, maybe it makes sense to trade your miles in for a putter, a tailor-made putter, or frankly a toaster. If that gives you value, and you feel good about it, then frankly use your miles for that reason. But everybody has a different thing. Again, it's like art.
Like you said,
value when you see it.
and if you can't afford the 99 cents for the Apple Store one, and you're going to have miles that
Oh,
expire,
man,
then that's
I'll
it.
do that for you
Yeah, you
because
do that for me.
frankly, I hate seeing somebody lose their miles.
No, I know that's ridiculous. So we have been talking. Randy Petersen, you've been awesome, giving us excellent advice. And this is Randy Petersen, who is now. What do you consider yourself with? Because you're at Inside Flyer. Are you the?
I'm the editor. I started
Okay.
Inside Flier magazine in 1986 when there was actually paper to print on. Today I operate a number of websites. I founded one called Flier Talk. There's a website out there in bloggers. If you're really interested in bloggers, I've got 45 bloggers, and it's an area called boardingarea.com. And you'll find just absolutely the best advice. And as I say, bloggers really are great. You don't have to sift through a lot of threads. You read a single post. They're pretty good at what they do.
Great, Randy Petersen from Inside Flyer and Flyer Talk. Thank you very much for joining us on the Best of Investing.
All good. Now let me figure out the next number in a music song.
That's right. Okay, I tell you what, I'll ask this question, but don't answer it. Okay, you can hear what it is though. All right, here's the second commercial break. Second trivia question. Prince sang a song that said he was going to party like it's what? The first three callers with the correct answer win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Their website is lighthouse4fun.com. Call 888-912-1190. That's 888-912-1190 to answer this question. Prince sang a song that said he was going to party like it's what? And again, the theme is numbers in songs. Don't touch that dial. The Best of Investing will be right back. I know you know the answer to that one, right?
Cream puff.
1927.
I know. Yeah, exactly. All right, my friend. Thank you very much.
You all good? Hey, it's been a lot of fun, guys.
Okay.
I hope you didn't mind my corny jokes.
Oh no. We love that stuff.
Bring levity to these serious
No.
topics, right?
No, you know what? I love that stuff. That's what makes for good radio.
Oh, good. Well, call me anytime. It's a fun topic. There's nobody that I know that doesn't laugh about the topic from time to time.
Yeah, no. We'll
Great
definitely.
success for you guys, and pace yourself. You've still got, by last count, almost 10 and a half months left in this year, okay?
Okay, we'll definitely have to have you on again.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye.
Well, that one we didn't have any problem with the. Hold on here. Now what? Okay, hold on here. What happened to the other one I saved? Okay, well, let me just. BOI February. Oh, there. Oh, jeez, Edward, come on. See, you know, I did try to do 18 things at once, and that's where I get lost. Start jumping in me used about. All right. Okay. I'll answer that question. Okay. Okay. Then I've got a couple. I've got an article that we can get into afterward if we have time. Get into email time, right?
See.
Ready, Mr. Kramer?
Mr. Kramer is ready.
Welcome back to the Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hoff, president of Pacific Private Money, California's fastest growing private mortgage investment firm. When we get to the second commercial break, by the way, that was an excellent topic we covered, frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, I mean, we are the best of investing, but investing includes saving money too.
Exactly, very good point. Okay, so the theme is numbers in songs, and here's the second commercial break trivia question. Prince sang a song that said he was going to party like it's what? 1623. Da-da-da-da-da. No, what was the answer to that?
1999.
1999. That
Seems
is
like
correct.
a decade ago.
More than that.
That's right.
15 years ago. Oh my gosh, 15 years
Remember
ago.
Y2K, the Y2K
Yes.
scare and everything? We were all going to hell and planes were going to fall out of the sky.
That's right. And computers breaking and everything.
There
Sure.
were newscasters or radio personalities that lost their careers over that. They were betting the house on that happening.
Yeah.
It just was amazing.
And also, I think there's some people committed suicide thinking that was going to be better to commit suicide than to worry that your computer was going to crash. Okay.
Okay.
Now, hold on a second. We're going to get into email time in just a quick second. But next week, we're going to have. Let me try this again. Last week we said we were going to have a special trivia contest this week.
Okay.
So here is the special trivia question, where the winner is going to receive an overnight stay at the Sanctuary Beach Resort in Monterey. Here's the question. 2 out of 5 people claim to have one of these and say they never use it. What? All right? And the winner is going to receive this relax, rejuvenate, and unwind. Experience the tranquil ambiance of Sanctuary Beach Resort in the heart of Monterey Bay. To plan your getaway to Sanctuary Beach Resort, call 877-944-3863. That's 877-944-3863. Sanctuary Beach Resort, where nature converges with comfort and style. And get this, they're going to give you breakfast delivered to you for two, and a free split of wine, and a golf cart to use around the property. You gotta check that out. Sanctuary Beach Resort.
I'm
Pretty
still
awesome.
thinking about tranquil ambiance. I don't think I've ever heard those two words put together before.
I like that. Tranquil ambiance.
I'm surprised you're able to say it without getting tongue-tied.
No, but you check out their website. It's a very beautiful resort.
All right.
That's the Sanctuary Beach Resort in Monterey. Now, Mark, we received an email for you. It says, do hard money rates rise and fall as often as we see regular mortgage rates?
So that person was talking about hard money, or also called private money financing, which we talk a lot about on this show. My company, Pacific Private Money, is in the business of we got two kinds of clients. We're making loans to real estate investors who are no longer getting money from banks, because the banks pretty much stopped making loans to real estate investors who want to buy fix and flip property. They don't like banks don't like making short-term loans in the first place, and most flippers are paying those loans off in less than a year, oftentimes less than 6 months. And we also have clients that we serve who enjoy earning high yields on their savings. It's something we talk about a lot here at the Best of Investing. It's known as alternative investments, and it's in the alternative investments strategy category, and that is known as trust deed investing, or investing in our new mortgage pool product, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But so the question was, do hard money interest rates generally fluctuate like other rates? And the answer is that they really don't, because they're not. Bank rates are tied. Well, for the most part, people believe that bank rates are tied to the 10-year. They tend to track and according with the 10-year Treasury note rate,
Or the prime rate?
or the prime. Yeah, well, and some of
Used to be.
the prime rate used to be. Yeah, not so much anymore. But hard money rates really don't. Hard money rates are really a function of the appetite of investors to be willing to lend their private capital, their savings, to other people secured by real estate. And there are a lot of variables that go into that. And one of them is, how safe do they feel about the real estate market today? Is it trending down? When it was trending down, it was really hard to close a hard money loan, and the ones that did close were generally very, very low loan to value, and the rates were high because there was fear. Now there is not so much fear. There's a belief that we are on a real estate recovery or rebound, and based on some California prognosticators that I've listened to recently, whose opinions I respect and trust, there's belief that the next 3 to 5 years are looking really good for California real estate. So that we're not in a bubble, although if you're trying to buy in San Francisco or Silicon Valley, you might argue that. But anyway, staying with this, the cost of a hard money or private money loan is really a function of the people's opinions of where real estate is going. So if we figure that we're feeling pretty good about real estate values, therefore we're feeling good about the security for the note, that's actually been impacting rates in a downward fashion. So I've actually seen hard money rates trending down.
Is part of that because of the supply of capital?
It is, yes, it's due to the supply of capital, meaning more and more people who are frustrated with zero interest rates on their savings accounts or CDs and bonds, and even the scary nature of stocks and the way they go up, they go down. Are you really ahead? And they're looking at people who they see who are investing in real estate secured investment products, earning 8%, sometimes more year in and year out. And so anyway, more money has been coming into that, and that's allowed those of us in the business of loaning out that money the ability to sharpen our pencil and be a little bit more competitive. And so we're not quite a commodity yet, thank goodness, but single-digit rates were really rare in this business 5 years ago. Meaning, anything in the nines was like, oh, you're crazy, no way. 11, 12% was the norm, but we're doing a lot of lending at 10, and some at 9.5, and some at 9, and depending on the loan to value and the situation of the borrower and how long they want the money, actually longer term money in the private lending realm is less expensive is you can get a lower rate than the short-term stuff. The short-term stuff, if you're going to flip a property in 6 months, what do you care really if it's 9, 9.5, 10, 10.5? What you care about is a fast close, because you're likely calling me because you got to close by next Friday. And if you're haggling over the rate, you're haggling over the wrong thing. You want to know that I'm going to perform for you, right?
Yep.
But if you're looking to, let's say you took out a hard money loan at 11% to buy a property that you remodeled, now you got a tenant in there, and you're saying to yourself, well, I'm not going to sell this property, I'm going to hold it for rental income, and maybe it's going to go up in value the next 5 years. So now you're looking for 3 to 5 year financing, or maybe 7 to 10 year financing. It is available out there, and it's available. I've seen people quoting, or companies quoting as low as 5.99 and 6.99. So call it 6 or 7% for. Now I haven't actually seen many of those close, because I think some of those are teaser rates, but 7 or 8% money is not unheard of today for longer term rental income property refinancing. So for those of you who want to hold that long term, not so much you're not going to get those to help you purchase, because they like bank financing, they take longer to close because they're underwritten more strictly, and the source of their funds are generally New York hedge funds that have been coming into California looking to get higher yields by financing income property that the banks are still really not touching.
Well, remember, this used to be the best kept secret in investing.
It used to be the best kept secret in investing. Well, it still is. I mean, if you think about the percentage of people who invest their capital, I actually wish I knew what the number is, because it's really not. There's not a lot of public information out there that. But it wouldn't surprise me if someone said to me, less than 2% of all the money that's basically in savings and retirement accounts right now is invested in a mortgage secured product, earning
That wouldn't surprise me at
8%
all.
or better. And it's amazing how it's growing in popularity, but it's still a tiny fraction. Because not a day goes by that my phone doesn't ring and someone says, I drove by and I've been seeing that sandwich board outside your store for the last several years saying 8%, and I keep thinking, well, that can't be right, and there's got to be a mistake.
What's the catch? Or
what's the catch? Or
something?
Right. As Gil Gross has been saying. So, but
actually, though, Gil met with us.
Yeah.
And he really likes what we're doing. In fact, he's making plugs on the air now for us.
Yes, he is. Yeah, keep listening. It's a great. I love the commercial. I love Gil too. He's got a great radio voice.
Yeah, he does.
But but where I was going with that is, not a day goes by that someone doesn't call me and go, how are you doing that? And they, when I talk about mortgage investing, it's amazing how many people still have not heard of it and aren't familiar with it. In fact, I was at my bank today making a deposit. I had new investors sent me a check for $50,000 to invest in a fund. I walk it over to Wells Fargo because it's right next door, and it gives me a chance to kind of stretch my legs and get some fresh air. I know the guys over there. They all know when I'm walking in. I'm walking in with a check. So how big is it this time, Mark?
Yeah.
And so anyway, I'm talking to the guy behind the counter. And he's a young fellow. He's in his 20s, and turns out he had no idea. He'd never heard of trustee investing or mortgage fund investing. So I sat there for 5 minutes to explain it to him.
Basically
look at my 401k and see how well it's doing.
Well, I mean, the first question is, okay, you understand that you work at the Wells Fargo Bank,
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys do? We make loans.
Right.
Really? Well, what happens when you guys can't make a loan or choose not to make a loan for whatever reason? What is Mr. Borrower going to do?
Well, it was very coincidental that I had this conversation with my Wells Fargo banker today, because I was driving my daughter to school this morning, and she has a test today, or had a test today for on
Time value of money?
Yeah, it was basically interest rates and such.
Really?
And so I had to explain to her how it all worked. I said, well, banks take your deposits, pay you 1%, and lend it out for approximately 5%. I'm using round numbers.
Sure.
We know that you're lucky to get 1% of your savings, but they pay you 1, lend it out at 5. Well, we get money from our investors, and we pay them around 8% and lend it out at 10. And so, she thought, oh, wow, that's kind of cool. Now, when I actually said the same thing to my banker today, when he said, what is it that you actually do? He was surprised. He said, oh, you only make a 2-point spread between 8 and 10. I said, well, we get a little bit more too. We charge origination points, which you guys might charge 1, and we'll charge 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And again, because we're based on volume, we don't have to make millions. We just, we like to make a profit, but again, we don't have to make as much as the banks make, which we all know that they're making, when they charge you 5% and they're paying out actually less than 1. I think someone told me that the banks today are making a higher spread on the money they loan out than ever before in their history.
Yeah, in the old days it used to be about 3%.
Yeah, so when they tell you, oh, no cost and no fees, they're still laughing
all the way to the bank. Yeah, exactly. So, Mark, how do people get a hold of you if they want to earn 8% of their money? They're really very conservative.
Well, the first thing you should do is go to our new website that we launched for the Pacific Private Money Fund. It's actually been in development for a while. It took me a while to write some of the collateral in there, and then it's actually been launched now for several weeks. And someone pointed out the other day, it's like, hey, when are you going to announce the new fund website? And it's like, I've been telling people about it, as they call or sending emails out, but I actually haven't announced it on the air recently. It's pacificmoneyfund.com. That's pacificmoneyfund.com. Go there and you'll be able to see some great information about what it is we do. And of course, then you can always shoot me an email from the website or call our office anytime. You can always leave a message and we'll call you back or call during business hours. And that's here in the Bay Area, 415-883-2150. That's 415-883-2150. Call and find out about what it is we do and how we provide 8% and higher secured returns to our investors. We've been doing it year in and year out since 2008.
And nobody's ever lost money with you.
No one's ever lost money.
Even during the recession.
It's funny because someone actually, I know we got to go to commercial break, but I got a call from a prospective investor who said, well, how many foreclosures have you had? And I actually had to go back and kind of look through because I know we've had in the back of my mind I'm going, well, I know we've had some, but I actually went through it. Turns out we've only had 2.
Wow.
So we've had actually 2 properties, and these were loans I made back in 2009, and in both cases I talked with both lenders who would foreclose on those 2 properties, and they were thrilled. They were sitting on property that was significantly higher.
Yeah, so instead of getting an 8% return, they're probably getting about a 25% return.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had gotten as good a deal as these guys had on the deal. So foreclosures are very rare when you work with a company that knows what they're doing, underwrites properly, and secures your note, your money with a loan that is a conservative loan to value, and we generally don't lend any higher than 70, and a lot of our loans are significantly less than 70%.
Okay, when we come back from break, I want you to give like a deal of the week, kind of give an explanation, because people are hearing these high rates and they're thinking, okay, why are these borrowers borrowing from you instead of the bank?
Right.
And give it an example. So before we cut to the break, though, I got to remind people of the rules for the special trivia contest that I mentioned earlier about the Sanctuary Beach Resort. And here are the rules. You've got to email the answer, edward@bestofinvesting.com by midnight tonight. Next week, and only first-time callers, please. We're going to announce the winner next week. We're going to choose from among the correct answers we received, choose a random winner from that. Okay, we're going to cut to the third and final commercial break, and here's the trivia question for this one. The Three Dog Night. Okay, remember, the theme is numbers in songs. Three Dog Night claimed that this was the loneliest number. What number is that? The first 3 callers with the correct answer to this question are going to win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Their website is lighthouse4fun.com. Call 888-912-1190. That's 888-912-1190 to answer this question. Three Dog Night claimed that this was the loneliest number. What number? Again, 888-912-1190. Make sure to include your name, your email address. Speak slowly. Spell out your email one letter at a time. Don't touch that dial. When we come back, Mark Humph is going to give us specifics about exciting loans that he's recently funded. Oh, that's a long one.
Yeah. Don't get me started.
Gotta get you started. Gotta get you started. Are you filming that? You filming me?
Oh no, just you.
Just
Always
me.
you.
It's all about me.
It is. Well,
Every once in a while I still get people coming up to me and going, I saw you on TV.
good.
I go, really?
Yeah.
I go, was every hair in place?
Yeah, everything. Did I have my finger in my nose?
Almost always.
One of the little articles I was going to bring up after you're done is about the eerie parallel between. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Show Kramer. He'd like to see that.
Wow.
So next week we'll record this and then immediately go right into the job.
Is that next week?
Yeah. Right.
Thank you for the business.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'll have to call him and see what if he
Yeah,
wants.
you guys go over whatever
Yeah.
else. My job is to interview and do what I'm doing here.
Yeah. Is this Steve? Or
Let's
is
see.
this
Yeah,
something?
I'm thinking
Well,
of
no,
loan I
this
want to talk about here.
Pardon me?
Oh, I'm thinking out loud here about a loan. I've funded as many.
Mr. Dow, Mr. Jones.
Wow, this is gonna be a short one.
Yeah.
4 minutes and 18 seconds.
Okay. Well, yeah, I won't get into a lot of detail.
Okay. You ready? So they, can I have my article back? I'm gonna need that.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I didn't get through reading it. Yeah, that makes me feel real good. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I'll be bankrupt. Okay.
Welcome back to the Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hahn, president of Pacific Private Money. When we cut to the third and final commercial break, we asked this trivia question. Again, the theme is numbers in songs. The music group Three Dog Night claimed, my dad used to call them 3 Dogs in the Night. 3 Dog Night claimed that this was the loneliest number. What number is that, Mark?
1
is the loneliest number. That is
Yes.
correct. Okay, now we promised the audience after commercial break, we were going to have you give us like a deal of the week, or just basically give us an example of some of the loans you've actually done.
Well, I think since we've got a short, we went along on a couple of segments earlier. I'll just really tell you, give you an example of one we just funded, a few weeks ago, which is very, very typical. Again, most of our clients are rehabbers, flippers, real estate investors who have discovered their knack for buying property at good or great prices, adding value, and then reselling them for a profit. Now, some of these are homes that need a lot of remodeling, and that's in fact the contractors that we loan to. That's generally the ones they look for. They want to look for something that they can take down to the studs inside, and an older home that they can remodel with new electrical and plumbing, etc., and make it turnkey in an established neighborhood. And we probably make more loans like that in Oakland than any other single city in the Bay Area, as there were so many homes in those neighborhoods built in the 40s and 50s.
But
And
is it East Oakland? Scary
no, it's
neighborhoods,
not
or?
scary. No, not scary Oakland. And I know that. Again, I don't want to sound racist or discriminatory, because that's not what it's about. It's but I do have to take care that my investors, some of them prefer to loan in other parts of various cities, and there are some fabulous middle class neighborhoods throughout Oakland that are in high demand. And if you find a home that is nicely remodeled inside, those things are selling like hotcakes, and they have been actually for several years now. But here's one we did recently. Actually, it's a newer home, and this is actually fairly typical too. Elk Grove. This was a short sale, and it was a mother and her son that went into contract with property in Elk Grove for $320,000. This was a home that, at the height of the market, I think sold for like $550,000. And the current market value was showing to be around $350,000, $360,000. They got it as a short sale for $320,000, and we did a 70% loan based on that $320,000 purchase price.
And why couldn't they go to the bank?
Well, they couldn't go to the bank because it had to close quickly, and he didn't have perfect credit. He was young and didn't have established credit, and the mom had a couple of issues there. So again, like a lot of my real estate investors, very few of them, in fact, have stellar credit, but they.
Yeah, but sometimes though, like the 2 foreclosures you had, those people made a fortune, so you almost hope that someone doesn't have good credit.
And that's exactly right. So in this Elk Grove case, the property had a current market value actually higher than they were paying for it, because they had made an offer nearly a year before, and that's how long it took the bank to agree to sell it. And in that time, property values had actually increased, but the asset manager, who was probably in another state, wasn't really paying attention and agreed to sell it to them. So they were going to do some light remodeling, put new carpeting in. I think they were going to add some molding and some other stuff, and
Sure.
in fact put that back on the market. So
All right.
So-
Again, tell people how to get a hold of you.
Pacific Private Money, 415-883-2150, or go to our new website about our mortgage pool fund. That's pacificmoneyfund.com.
All right, we're going to have to call it a day here. Here's our thoughts for the day. Gordie Howe said that American professional athletes were bilingual. They speak English and profanity. And Bob Hope said that he used to be called Rembrandt Hope in his boxing days because he spent so much time on the canvas. Tune in next week to The Best of Investing. We're going to be giving away 9 more free vacations for answering trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm Edward Brown, wishing you the best of investing. So long.